in 2012. Alan Greenspan is scared over the deficit. He's calling for the debt ceiling to be obviously risen up higher. And here's something to think about. The U.S. government has 32 straight months behind them of budget deficits. The budget deficit was $59 billion for May. And here are some other numbers that are even scarier. $5.3 trillion in new obligations in 2010. The U.S. government's financial situation worsened rapidly in 2010. More than $1.5 trillion in new debt to finance the deficit. This is according to USA Today. You can read it in our newsletter. The government added $5.3 trillion in new financial obligations in 2010, largely for programs such as Medicare and Social Security, to bring the total unpaid. Now, here's the big number now. Total unpaid financial promises to a record $61.6 trillion. I've even heard numbers bantied about, Harold, 70 to 75 trillion. But you think about it. The United States, they're in debt right now, 14. They want to raise the debt ceiling up to around 16 trillion, and they're on the hook here for $61 trillion in unfunded promises. I'm sorry, but if you see these numbers and you hear them, I don't know how you cannot have some precious metals or diamonds around, because I think we're heading into a time that is simply unprecedented, and we're not trying to scare people. That is, I know somebody tried to say to me one day, oh, you're just trying to scare people. No, the numbers are real. Get our newsletter, read it over. These stories are on Bloomberg and the Canadian Business Channel and CNBC and all the different news outlets. These numbers are real. The United States is heading towards a severe problem, and we obviously, Harold, need to be prepared. Now is the time to be realistic and be prepared, because it's a very serious situation.
Oh, you bet. And it is scary, Randy, because, again, if you look at the numbers just don't match up. And the fact is that as soon as they raise interest rates here in the States, which is another reason that they're not going to raise interest rates, because the interest on the loans is going to be so extreme and so high that they're not going to be able to afford it. They can barely afford it now. Almost 50 cents out of every dollar that the U.S. collects in tax revenue goes to pay the interest on their loans. But again, they owe $14 trillion. They've done nothing to change that situation, and now they want another $2 trillion. Again, it makes absolutely no sense, and people within the United States are getting very angry over this because, again, as a pragmatic business person and people that, again, and as Canadians, you know, we watch our money. We're a little frugal. We watch our money. And the fact is there is very few of us that would ever get into the debt that the U.S. is in, you know, percentage-wise type of thing. So all in all, there's no doubt that they're not getting out of this trouble. And the fact is that if they do default on their currency, like Mexico did back in 1982, you know, the fact is that the metals are going to respond to that also. So no matter what happens, aside from figuring out a way of controlling inflation, which they won't, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that we are heading towards much higher prices. Again, we're all situated. We're in gold, we're in silver, and we're in diamonds. If you're sitting in that area, just sit back and enjoy the ride. If you're not, you better jump on board the train because it's going to pass without you.
Harold, thank you for a fantastic show. Have a great weekend.
It's my pleasure. I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very profitable day, and let's hope the Canucks pull it out.
That's right. Two nuggets I wanted to get to before the end of the show. This is on the real estate side of things, just quickly. There are actually a couple in West Palm Beach, Florida. They have a 5-bedroom home there. They have not paid any mortgage. They haven't paid their mortgage in 5 years, have not been foreclosed on. Think about that. Also in Las Vegas, land prices are down 83% from the 2007 peak. There's some serious problems in the world, not only geopolitically, but economically and financially. Now is the time to protect and profit. Protect the money you have and profit at the same time. To invest in precious metals, connect with Worldwide Precious Metals at wwpmc.com. Great website, testimonial letters there from very satisfied clients. Telephone number 1-866-623-2002. The website for Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. The telephone number 1-800-432-1022. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.